Hi, Wendy. It's so nice to see you over here in Germany, and I wanted to ask what your impression was of the Swiss team today in qualification.
Obviously wasn't our best. I think that we had, just some big pressure to, the girls knew what this competition meant, and I think it just kind of got to them a little bit on beam. So wasn't what we trained for, but, we take it from there.
You're known as being a mental health trainer and sort of performance coach. Can you talk about how you've transitioned that from English into other languages and maybe language barriers that you've incurred?
Well, every other country seems to know a lot more languages than we do in the United States, so they are all pretty good with English. I do think that I have to say things a couple times for them to understand the nuances of like the little things with emotions and how that works. But they're pretty good at it. I also think because I was a gymnast, I have a unique way to connect with them on. I know exactly how they feel when they're like I wasn't up on the beam, but I knew exactly how it felt to have that lighting up on the beam and feeling alone and isolated. And so we talked about that. So I think that we're able to connect on a lot of different levels. So it makes more sense, I guess, than just English.
You spoke about remembering what it feels like to be up on the beam, and you competed here in Germany, but in Stuttgart. Does being back here bring back any of those memories of those competitions?
No. Because we never had not making excuses at all. In order for us to be able to compete at the level that we want and be consistent with it, we have to kind of have all of these experiences. And I never had to compete with those kind of lights. And I know it's not an excuse, but it's different. It's something they haven't experienced before. So, I didn't have to do that. And that's just one thing that now that they've experienced it, it's not going to be new to them the next competition.
It's my understanding that you had planned to come to Switzerland for around 3 months, and now you've ended up staying, I think, close to a year. Can you talk about the decision to stay longer and what that has been like?
Well, if you've ever been to Switzerland, it's not hard to stay. But we have such a great team around us as far as the federation, the board of directors, our coaches, the gym, and then the kids. And I think that it got to a point where I felt like I wanted to help and I knew that I could. And so I took the opportunity that was in front of me, and we decided to go all in.
I believe you have 2 new coaches with the Swiss program. Can you talk about who they are and what their role will be within the Swiss team?
So we have Frank Kissler, who is with us today. He is kind of our European guy. And then we have Craig, who is the American, and so I call it the meat and potatoes is like Craig, and then Frank is like the Swiss cuisine. So it's just both are delicious meals. They're just different styles, but they both can add so much to what we need, and we need a lot of that foundational work and basic work and strength work that we get from the United States, and then we need that flair and that extra, that little spice at the top from the French. So it's a difficult mix sometimes because there are different meals, but then when we understand how to work together now, and I think that it's going to be a good team. It's going to be a lot of it's good to have different, as long as we can work together, and we can, so it'll be good.
Nicole told me to ask about your amazing new beam choreographer. So can you tell me about her?
Yes. Nicole was able to come in, and she, obviously she's a good friend of mine, and we needed some beam choreography, and I asked her if she would be willing to do it, and she did it through Zoom, and she did an amazing job. I'd love to have her more involved with us. I think that she could offer so much to our girls as well. I could also use an American friend, but it'd be nice to have her. But I think that one of the comments that our Swiss judge had said when she saw the choreography, it was, we've never had beam routines like that before. So it was nice to be able to add something different. I think that we still haven't shown our best routines yet. I think we were a little bit nervous, but she's wonderful. I love Nicole.